I'm addictive and expensive. Byron Wilcott. And I'm watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm WB Billy Boudreaux, being joined by the Studley man Ashley. Ashley, how you doing?
I'm feeling Studley, I guess. I don't know.
This is going to be our Monday Night Raw review for the week of December 3rd, 2012. And ladies and gentlemen, also got like to know that tonight's Monday Night Raw review has been stamped Walrus approved. We'll explain a little bit later. Due to some
Happy holidays.
Due to some unfortunate circumstances, I missed the first hour of Monday Night Raw, so we're going to leave the first hour of the Raw review, or coverage of the first hour of the Raw review, to the Studley man Ashley.
Okay. The way I should really introduce this is just like do a previously on Billy's Raw reviews, and then we just splice together like a 20-second clip of previous reviews, because that's what it always starts with every Raw. But anyway, we actually open up with an immediate match. They built, well, not an immediate because they have to bring the guys out, but it's Team Hell No taking on the Primetime Players. But during Team Hell No getting in the ring, the Shield are actually up in one of the skyboxes in the arena in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Kane and Bryan basically say, because, well, Kane certainly says, well, you attacked me last week, so I'm calling you out, get down here. But of course they don't budge. But then during the course of the match with the Primetime Players, they move down gradually towards the ring. Eventually, when they're at the ring wall, you know, around the ringside area, and I think Daniel Bryan manages to get a quick roll up on Darren Young for the win. Not entirely sure because it was about 2.5-3 hours ago, so bear with me, peoples. But as soon as the match ended and Team Hell No won, all 3 members of S.H.I.E.L.D. turned up, because I think Rollins wasn't there, he just turned up a different place altogether, but they all beat down Kane and Bryan, and then they just disappeared. They're literally like Batman. They're just there and then they're gone. Just when you want to see them again. But then we had a little backstage segment with Sheamus and Cena. I did like the fact that he was just kept talking about Irish stuff, like Leinster winning the Heineken Cup, which only Irish people would get because it's to do with rugby union, which I guess is kind of like football for you, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Except without any padding, probably, and slightly more gentlemanly. But then again, they get pretty bad injuries when they do. But anyway, and then there was also even a mention of Father Ted, which, note to everybody watching, go watch Father Ted after watching this, because it's much funnier than any sort of jokes that we make on here. They talk about that mainly they just talk about it because they're hyping up the match, which is coming up later with Big Show and Ziggler taking on Sheamus and Cena. Then we have a Divas match, AJ versus Tamina, which they actually give it quite a bit of time, which I really liked, and it finished with Snooker going for the Superfly Splash, but AJ manages to pull her down from the ropes as she's going for the splash, and then gets a roll up on her, and AJ wins. And then pretty much as soon as this happens, Punk comes out with his music with Paul Heyman. When after the break, Heyman was on the mic and said, "Oh look, here's the WWE Encyclopedia." But isn't enough CM Punk in it. But one thing we were interested to know, make note of you, is that he's on 379 days and Cena's on 380. So as of midnight tomorrow, on Tuesday, Punk will surpass Cena's record. And that because of this, he deserves to be on WWE's version of Mount Rushmore. Which is an interesting... I think didn't they do a mock-up of that on the WWE website?
They might have. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know, but I saw something of it anyway somewhere on the internet. Punk says he isn't happy with the fact he's having to face Ryback given that he beat him at Hell in a Cell and him and Cena at Survivor Series. Adds that the Shield and Maddox were nothing to do with him. They were no factor in causing him to get those titles, or retain the title, should I say. Then cue The Miz, and I was ecstatic for this because it's like, yes, Miz is getting a face promo, a properly one this time, and he says he did scheme and he did cheat to keep his WWE title when he was champ, but the difference between him and Punk is that he admits that he did those things, and Punk can't. And then he does make a comparison to CM Punk's manager Paul Heyman looking like a walrus. Cue the fans going walrus, and then CM Punk demands an apology. And so Miz goes, I'm sorry, he's a really big fat walrus. And to be quite honest, I think that means Miz is over because he's now just created a multiple catchphrase for himself.
Oh yes, definitely.
He's no longer Miz and Awesome anymore. He's no longer really. He is now the guy that christened Walrus. Kind of like Rock and when he was making fun of Big Show with that.
Yep.
Which I don't know if that was Chewy on heat. I don't know, but but he invites Punk to appear on Miz TV later on the night and offers him the chance to take a lie detector test because it's the perfect thing. It's a live mic, so he can pipe bomb all he wants, and it also gives him the chance to clear his name. At first, he was a bit hesitant on doing this, but after explaining that, it will clear his name, he was like, yeah, okay. I'll prove I'm the best in the world. So overall first hour, compared to previous weeks, was brilliant.
Oh, I must say. We open up... Go ahead.
Only two matches, just to give a quick sum up. Only two matches, but the Tamina and AJ was a good match. And thank God Eve wasn't wrestling, or Caitlyn, because the match would have been 3 minutes and that would have been it.
Yeah. Or even less.
Yeah, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just to spite everybody, put in the promo code WWE123 on WWE.com, and you would have got free shipping. But that finished at midnight.
Yep.
Boo sucks to you.
We open up the second hour of Monday Night Raw with a matchup that I figured we would have seen on this week's Friday Night SmackDown because of what happened at the end of the previous SmackDown involving John Cena, Sheamus, Big Show, and Dolph Ziggler. But I'm thinking it's very interesting, it's something both me and Rick Starr brought up on the SmackDown review. We kind of thought it was blatantly obvious at first that we were going to see this tag match of John Cena and Sheamus taking on the Big Show and Dolph Ziggler on Friday Night SmackDown. So I got to give... Well, considering the actions of what happened on the previous SmackDown. Normally...
Yeah, but Cena's on Saturday Morning Slam. That's more important.
Oh, yeah. That's way more important to the demographic of 12 and under. But anywho, despite that fact, for those of us who are still in reality land, I gotta give WWE props. I gotta give them a little bit of a kudos because they kind of changed it up a little bit. Because they could have went the obvious route. They could have saved this match until Friday Night SmackDown, but they put it on Monday Night Raw. They give it an immediate response to what happened on Friday Night SmackDown, and I think overall, I think it was a lot better seeing it on Monday Night Raw than it was on Friday Night SmackDown. Especially the finish of this match was really, really good. You had Sheamus holding up the Big Show. Mind you, Big Show, over 7 feet tall, 440 some odd pounds. Sheamus had him in the air for nearly close to a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes. And John Cena picked up Dolph Ziggler for the Attitude Adjustment, and we get a simultaneous finish with Cena hitting the AA and Sheamus hitting the white noise on Big Show, and John Cena gets the win over Dolph Ziggler in the tag match. And actually, I got to give this a 4 out of 5. I mean, I thought that match content-wise was really good, and the finish I thought was really well done for this tag match.
Yeah, good. Not to spoil anything, but there was actually a lot of good matches. I mean, I'm just looking at. We had 7 matches, and at least half of them were very good. So this is like kudos to WWE. This is a better card than you had for Survivor Series.
Well, tonight on Monday Night Raw, we kind of proved that Brad Maddox is a zombie because after getting killed by Ryback just a few weeks ago, he has resurfaced on this week's Monday Night Raw, trying to prove himself and try to get another chance to be a WWE superstar and gain a contract. Now, for those of us who really understand WWE's thinking, he's already got a contract, and if you guys are really shocked by that statement, what rock are you living under? And I'm not talking about Dwayne Johnson either.
Have we jumped in time here or something?
Well, I just figured I'd bring it up, right then and there.
Bring it up here rather than bring it up when it actually was like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I want to know, Brad Maddox is claiming himself to be a YouTube sensation. Screw you, Maddox.
Sorry, if he's a YouTube sensation, next week Raw is going to be hosted by the baby Charlie that bit the kid's finger. Or Psy from Gangnam Style.
Or the kid that got high off the dentist. Remember the kid that got high off the dentist thing, and he was in his dad was filming him. Am I alive? But
the talking dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing you know, we bribed Brad Maddox with a with bacon-filled turkey. Then he gave it to the cat. Anyway, Brad Maddox is...
Jerry the King Lawler's ex-wife is here? Oh, no.
Oh, God. Anyway, Brad Maddox has kind of charmed his way into getting himself another chance for the WWE contract, but Vicky Guerrero would not disclose the information as to who his opponent was being. And when we first heard that, Ashley, I think you had, two really bad thoughts. One being Ryback and the other one being Hornswoggle?
No, because she said it'd be a great match, and I thought, oh no. It's the runner-up of Indian Big Brother.
Oh, God. Anyway.
We're going to have more crazy dancing.
Yeah, Gangnam Style. Anyway. We have Damien Sandow again furthering his little gimmick of trying to help the masses one at a time when it comes to being educated and being the intellectual savior of the masses. And I will say this, WWE, you need to get your act together because in your promo with Damien Sandow tonight on Monday Night Raw, word for word, I can guarantee you this right now, word for word from what you said on SmackDown was basically a repeat of what he said tonight on Monday Night Raw. Now the questions, I don't know, the chemical symbol for H2O is water. Yeah, of course, we all knew that. We also had the first president of the United States, George Washington. And then, actually, what was this third question?
Who wrote the poetry? Something. And I guessed Keats.
And you
I
were
got it right. So, take that, Donald Trump. Apparently, I'm an apprentice. Booyah.
Then, next thing you know, Santino Marella comes out and has a question of his own for Damien Sandow. Apparently was a little bit of a tongue twister.
Who shall, then she shall. Who shall, she shall, by she shall.
And then Sandow replied with some sort of technical terms.
If you're asking about the most common shell,
yeah.
it is the Volvo or something like that, I don't know. And then he went, it's actually the conch shell.
And Santino Marella attempted to kind of conk his microphone on Sandow's head in a form of a joke. Sandow really didn't take to that too kindly and knocked Santino Marella down, and then we get a commercial break. Next thing you know, we come back, we have a match between Marella and Sandow. Now, I kind of figured Sandow was going to go over on Santino Marella because, again, basically just comedy relief. Sometimes Marella goes over on him, but I think, not in this instance. They're trying to push Sandow, I guess, for this new take on his gimmick being the intellectual savior, helping one person at a time, and maybe that was the way to go, but it was just, for some reason, to me, actually, I just really didn't see Santino Marella going over in this match.
Well, he might as well be a rooftop or a ceiling tile verifier, because he looks up at it so much.
Yeah. Or maybe the member of Al Snow's job
There's a hole in the roof. Water could get through that. Yes.
I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5, Ash. I don't know about you.
Yeah, 3 out of 5, but discreet 5 out of 5, because I'm already his apprentice, even though he doesn't want me.
Next up,
you're welcome, bastard.
Well, the next match for about the 1,384th time, we've had Alberto Del Rio taking on Sin Cara. Now, honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you this. Even though we've seen this so many times before in the WWE, I'm going to take this match over Damien Sandow and Santino Marella any day of the week, because this match was really, really good. In fact, anytime you get Del Rio and Sin Cara in the ring together working in the WWE, whether it be in a one-on-one capacity or in a tag team match, I'm going to
CMLL.
Oh, yes. Because, they worked so well together down in Mexico in the CMLL and AAA as well. I believe they're also in AAA, right?
Yeah, I think they might have been, yeah.
But anyway, this was a great match. Sin Cara, there was a lot of great spots. However, I'm gonna call out Del Rio on something. It was blatantly obvious he was gonna miss a clothesline, but did he have to miss a clothesline from by 50 feet? I mean, it looked really, really awkward, and
it had to look Matrix style.
Well, how about a Matrix style bosh is what it looked like to me. I mean, like I said, Del Rio looked like he was just going to clothesline air. There was nothing there. I mean, it looked really, really awkward to me. But other than that, a lot of great spots, including...
Perhaps it was Little Jimmy.
Interesting you brought that up. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, a lot of great spots, including on the outside when Sin Cara... As much as I say about Tyson Kidd, and he knows how to throw really good kicks inside a wrestling ring, so does Sin Cara, and it was made very evident in this matchup with Del Rio tonight.
I think it's because he had regular lighting, so he could see what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. The Sin Cara lighting wasn't there tonight, guys. We just had regular lighting, and I really don't see the need for the Sin Cara lighting gimmick. I mean, it never really made any sense to begin with. I mean, the only time a lighting gimmick really made sense to work with the guy was Glacier in WCW, but other than that, the matchup in itself...
Early Kane.
Well, yeah, that, but anyway, Del Rio and Sin Cara, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, Ash. I was thoroughly entertained. Great finish, out of nowhere, Del Rio, gets a cross arm breaker. Sin Cara, the counter from the Swanton looked like you just normally went for the Swanton and really didn't do that much of a roll through to it, but You know, I still think it was a good finish and was a good enough match for me, Ash, to get a 4 out of 5. Then we got Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Hold on. Now I'm going to call him Vince McMahon out. Last week's Monday Night Raw was at Cajun Dome in Lafayette, Louisiana. What, was the Cajun Dome not good enough for Vince McMahon? Give me a break.
Call him Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently the Cajun Dome was not good for the VKM, so apparently he didn't want to show up. But he's going to show up over in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm not going to say anything bad about the city. But anyway, because I'm going to be prejudiced for a Cajun Dome. You know, it's the only time where I get to go see Monday Night Raw.
Hey. Does Greensboro, North Carolina get The Rock in 2.5, 3 months' time? No. Look.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm still not too happy about it. I'm still not too happy about the fact that The Rock is coming back to the Cajun Dome, and you know, now I'm not going to go into the details of the kind of conversation that me and Chase Matthews had about the return of The Rock, but let's just say this: one of us in that conversation was pro Rock, and one of us was anti Rock. And for those of you who know me here on YouTube.com/TrustedGamer, guess which one I was. Anyway. We had Vince McMahon come out with Vicky Guerrero. Apparently went to have a conversation with Guerrero. We already had a couple of matches made prior to this segment. Vicky Guerrero backstage was meeting with Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler not happy over the fact that he lost to John Cena in the tag match, and he wanted another chance to prove himself against Cena at the pay-per-view. And Vicky Guerrero said, okay, you have a match. But at that time, it was just a regular one-on-one match between Cena and Ziggler. So McMahon brings Vicky Guerrero out and starts having conversating a little bit about the match between Cena and Ziggler. In fact, it should have
manipulation of the highest degree.
Oh yes, a stipulate. Yeah, apparently Vicky Guerrero first was going to go with a no disqualification match between Cena and Ziggler. And
the interesting thing is, Vince actually said, "Well, every match is no disqualification on that show." So if it isn't.
Well, you said this wasn't a no disqualification pay-per-view. It was tables, ladders, and chairs.
Yeah, but he said no disqualification pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So if one of the matches on the pay-per-view ends in disqualification, I smell botchamania.
No, I think what he said was that this wasn't the no disqualification. I think he was referring to the gimmick of the match. Of it being a no disqualification pay-per-view. This was tables, ladders, and chairs. So he made Vicky Guerrero, hesitantly made this match a ladder match, and McMahon kind of guided her along into making it a. As soon as we heard ladder match, instantly it just popped in both of our heads, Ash. The Money in the Bank briefcase on the line at TLC in a ladder match between Ziggler and Cena. I gotta say, Ash. That makes the match that much better.
I saw that match happening since last week.
Yeah, considering how great that match was, by far match of the night from last week's Monday Night Raw.
No, it's because the card needed a ladder match.
Well, yeah, that too. But last week's match was still really good.
It had a TLC match.
I think the only match we don't have now is a tables match.
Who's we having a tables match? I know. AJ Mina.
Anyway, next thing you know, Miss Miz starts talking about the lie detector test that's going to be happening on Miz TV involving CM Punk, and starts hinting towards Vicky Guerrero that if CM Punk is caught lying, there should be some sort of ramifications. And then Vicky Guerrero made the announcement that if CM Punk is caught lying about the whole situation between him, Brad Maddox, and The Shield, that on next week's Monday Night Raw, we would have a sound technical classic wrestling clinic style of a match between Ryback and Mr. Walrus Paul Heyman. We can't say really anything more about that.
Walrus versus Buffet.
I wonder if Peter would come out for that match. 4 out of 5 on this segment. I thought it was really good. Vince McMahon actually came out to the ring almost dancing to his music in a sense, Ash. Did you catch that?
He's channeling Shane McMahon.
Oh, Lord.
You're going to money.
Well, next up was an experience. It wasn't the Brad Maddox experience, but it was an experience nonetheless, as Brad Maddox was again fighting for a WWE contract, and, well, it wasn't Ryback that was going to be his opponent, it was Randy Orton. And
I thought it was going to be the John Cena experience.
no,
Now available on WWEshop.com. Oh wait, you can't use the voucher code.
Good DVD, by the way, I'll let y'all know that. But anyway,
Jimi Hendrix experience.
I haven't even heard the CD. Anyway, Randy Orton. It was good to see Randy Orton back since we really haven't seen him in over a week on WWE television programming. I mean, he wasn't at the Cajun Dome in any kind of a dark match. He wasn't seen on Main Event. He wasn't seen on SmackDown. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't seen on Saturday Morning Slam either, because I think it would be a slap in the face. But
you say that, and Cena's on it.
Well, Cena's WWE's poster boy. Anyway.
So it's technically Orton. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, for all the wrong reasons. Cena the right reasons, Orton the wrong reasons. But Orton pretty much wiped the floor. Brad Maddox basically jobbed, and you called him what, Ash? Brad Maddox. The new
Colin Delaney of 2012.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, Orton gets the win with the RKO. I have seen WWE Divas matches go longer than this one. But next thing you know, out from nowhere, the Shield in a 3-on-1 assault on Randy Orton, kind of perpetuating the conspiracy theory of that Maddox and the Shield and CM Punk are tied in together in some form or some facet. But that's kind of what WWE's playing with this on here. So I want to see, how Randy Orton, if they'll use Randy Orton in a response to this, or maybe they were just using this to write off Randy Orton because he's got a movie to go shoot or something of that nature. But 3.5 out of 5 on this one, because again, the matchup was okay, but it was short, and then honestly, they kind of perpetuated, like I just said, actually, the conspiracy of the involvement of, Maddox, the Shield, and CM Punk by having the Shield come out and assault Randy Orton.
Yeah, but how many times can you have a group attack people on the night?
Let's see. Let's ask Eric Bischoff from WCW. Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's look how well that did for them down the line, long term.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the next scheduled match was scheduled to be the former tag team champions Kofi Kingston and R-Truth.
Oh, I talk about backstage stuff first.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to talk? You want to cover that?
Yeah, it was a nice bit with Ziggler backstage. Basically, Ziggler goes to Vicky. You're now, just bowing down to what the bosses and everything else want to see. You're no better than AJ. So it looks like, well, possibly a face turn, I don't know. Certainly it looks like he wants nothing to do with Vicky anymore. Then Paul Heyman comes in and they have an epic staring contest, which Vicky wins. But Heyman basically says nothing. Then Cena comes in and says, thanks for setting up the match. And then goes to hug her, and then she's like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. Then again, if AJ's good enough for Cena, then Vicky must be. Come on.
Well, considering the fact that in that backstage segment, she brought out, she claimed that she, that was, those two little bow ties that had pictures of John Cena right in the middle were found in AJ's locker room after Monday Night Raw last week. Yeah, AJ would really wear that if she was a female version of Doink the Clown.
They could have been Caitlin's.
Well, yeah.
They could have been Tamina's.
Or it could have been Vicky's.
I don't think she used the Divas locker room. They could have been Eve's. They could have been Layla's. They could have been... It could have been in some weird way, Axon.
Oh, God. If it was Oksana, that would kill John Cena's career.
If only they were Paige.
Well, the next scheduled match was originally scheduled to be a tag match. The former tag team champions, the Intercontinental Champion Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, to take on the current United States Champion Antonio Cesaro and Wade Barrett. But out comes Teddy Long, the assistant or the senior advisor to Booker T for SmackDown, and apparently now he has the authority to make a match since Vince McMahon is obviously busy with something else, and Vicky Guerrero's tied up with doing stuff with John Cena and Dolph Ziggler. So he decides to change the match into a fatal four-way title match. Now, whose title was going to be on the line? We had a Raw active poll, and 83% of the vote went to Antonio Cesaro's United States title. So I'm going to say
clarification. Those figures may or may not actually represent what was voted.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it would have been the Intercontinental title. But anyway, actually, I gotta say this though: changing the match from a tag match to a fatal four-way, I think was a much better route than going for a tag match between these four guys.
It was for basically your last match of the night, because that's what it was. It was a very good match, especially with the crazy finish where within the space of about 2.5 minutes, every one of the four guys could have won about 3 times each.
Yeah. The finish came with Kofi Kingston hitting the Trouble in Paradise and Wade Barrett, and out comes Cesaro out of nowhere. He gut wrenches Kofi right off of Wade Barrett. Looks like he's going to go for the suplex, but he then turns it halfway into the neutralizer, hits it on Kofi Kingston, and gets the win. Cesaro retains the United States title. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this one because they made the United States Championship in this fatal four-way match. They made it look really, really strong. And they made Cesaro look like a really good, strong champion by having him retain the title in a fantastic fatal four-way match.
I give it a 0 because seriously, Ryback wasn't in the match.
Wow, somebody's a Ryback fan. Anyway, now we have Miz.
Well, I would say it about Punk, but we had some interesting stuff with him and Walrus.
Oh, yes. Because Miz TV was the finale of this week's Monday Night Raw, which featured the big lie detector test. CM Punk gets hooked up and he starts asking some highly unusual questions from The Miz. You know, is his name CM Punk? Yes, of course. Have you been WWE Champion 379 days? Yes. Is it true that Over the Limit in 2010, Rey Mysterio shaved your head bald? And your Punk was a little bit hesitant, but yeah, he did answer that. Yeah, Rey Mysterio did shave my head bald. And then he started. Actually, I think he started making references to Mr. Walrus again, didn't he?
Certainly, he also mentioned WrestleMania 27.
Yeah,
it was in the main event. Who beat you? Did Randy Orton beat you?
Exactly. You know.
Wasn't there like a Yo Mama joke as well?
Yeah. You know, he was demanding that to be asked the question, "Does Miz suck?" And CM Punk answered, "Yeah," and apparently he's telling the truth. And then Miz replies with, "No, I don't suck, but your mom does." And I had to laugh at it.
A lot of stuff actually kept calling him Mike, and Heyman called him Mr. Mizanin, and yeah, we're going very like behind the curtain style stuff. Even though he was always Mike Mizanin because he was on Tough Enough.
I always thought his last name was pronounced Mizani or something like that. But anyway, next up we get the big important questions that we definitely wanted the answer to. And again, if CM Punk was caught lying that on next week's Monday Night Raw we have Ryback versus Mr. Walrus, and I'm pretty sure PETA will be protesting that match. But before we can get the actual answer to the questions, the Shield comes in, interrupts everything, starts attacking The Miz, which prompts Team Hell No to come out, and again, it's still a 2-on-3 odds, so it's still not in the favor of Team Hell No. And then out comes Ryback. And next thing you know, odds are even, 3-on-3. I kind of talked a little bit about this in my Raw preview about a possibility of having a 6-man tag, but WWE didn't go that route, not just yet. But, you know, I think it was, I'm trying to remember correctly, I think it was Roman Reigns that gets taken out by Ryback. No, not Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose gets taken out by Ryback. Seth Rollins gets taken out by Daniel Bryan. And Kane gets Roman Reigns. And, you know, CM Punk starts, you know, celebrating a little bit in the ring. You know, starts asking the man, hey, you want me to answer another question? Am I going to kick you in the chest? Yes, I am. Boom. And see, I told you I was telling the truth. Now get out of my ring. And then out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, because we didn't see this in any kind of the camera shots or anything, Ryback, yeah, or any kind of a crowd reaction, Ryback does his best Undertaker impersonation and pops out of nowhere and shell shocks CM Punk. Then, of course, we need to have a build for their TLC match at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. So first we get a chair, then we get a ladder. Ryback hits CM Punk with the ladder and then pops a big chair shot off the spine of CM Punk. You can tell when it's a big chair shot because you actually hear it. And then we get the table. Apparently Devon was nowhere to be found, so we couldn't get a table, so Ryback had to do it himself. Puts it in the ring, and then, again, with his best Undertaker impersonation, does the powerbomb, or the last ride, through a table. CM Punk ends Raw with getting a little bit of a wood. So, again, I thought this was a great finish to Monday Night Raw. Very entertaining. But, again, we still didn't... Apparently, we didn't want to get the answer just yet if CM Punk was actually in collusion with The Shield and Brad Maddox, or the truth behind it matter. So I think this was, I believe, actually the best sensible way to kind of end it, and they did it in a very entertaining way. I got to go 4.5 out of 5 on this one, Ash.
Yeah, it was a nice closing segment. It had the humour and continuation of the war stuff, which I swear that's going to stick.
And should be trending
even
on
when
Twitter.
It's Brock Lesnar, it's probably going to be Great White Shark teaming up for Tiny Wars.
Mr. Walrus should be trending on Twitter anytime soon. Actually, quick, again, overview of the first hour of Monday Night Raw.
The overview, Hell No defeating Primetime Shield Attack. Then we had Tamina, AJ beating Tamina. And then we had Punk, you know, once again proclaiming he's the best in the world. And then they're saying, prove it, take a lie detector test, along with the fact that you're not involved with the other guys, Maddox and the Shield.
The last 2 hours of Monday Night Raw from me are going to get a 4 out of 5. I thought the Cena-Sheamus match, the tag match, Cena and Sheamus taking on Big Show and Dolph Ziggler, was very entertaining. Sandow and Santino Marella, I don't know. Sometimes we usually go for a pee break during a Divas match. This match could have qualified for that category. Better Del Rio and Sin Cara, again, it might have been for the umpteenth time we've seen Del Rio and Sin Cara in a match, but it was really, really good, and I'm going to take that match over Sandow and Santino Marella any day of the week. We also got the announcement backstage first by Vicky Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler that there's going to be a match between Ziggler and Cena, which prompts Vince McMahon and Vicky Guerrero to come out, and then as the stipulation that it's going to be a ladder match with Dolph Ziggler's Money in the Bank briefcase on the line, and then of course later on with Miz TV, if CM Punk was caught lying, then on next week's Monday Night Raw we would have a Peter protest as the Mr. Walrus, Paul Heyman, would have taken on Ryback. Brad Maddox's opponent was Randy Orton. Brad Maddox, again coined by the Studley Man Ashley himself as the New Era Colin Delaney. Changing the tag match of Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus Antonio Cesaro and Wade Barrett into a fatal four-way for the United States title, I believe was a brilliant move on WWE's part and made the match that much better, because a fatal four-way, the way it turned out, made Cesaro and the United States title both look really strong. And the ending with Miz TV, again, very entertaining, and a very nice closing to this week's Monday Night Raw, and a good way to build for the TLC match between Ryback and CM Punk at the TLC pay-per-view by having Ryback literally destroy CM Punk with a table, a ladder, and chair. So again, actually, for me, the last 2 hours of Monday Night Raw get a 4 out of 5. Your thoughts?
Overall for the show, 4 out of 5. It was a decent show. Much better than previous weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't like the numerous amount of recaps of earlier on in the night. And of course, the start previously on Dallas.
Well, anyway, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And please don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the Studly Man Ashley, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.
Have a banana.